There was never a dull moment in my house. I grew up with two brothers, one older, one younger, in a large suburban home in a quiet pocket of Richmond, which is just a hop and a skip away from the city of Vancouver. My brothers and I were always getting into some kind of trouble. Jamie, being the oldest, was the ringleader, the idea man. He came up with our schemes. One day, Jamie came to us with this fantastic idea. What if we, meaning me and our younger brother Jeffrey, pushed a mattress over the second floor banister in our house, and he, Jamie, would catch it? Genius, right? What could possibly go wrong? You're listening to the first ever episode of Panicdotes, a podcast series where I reveal my greatest, most embarrassing anecdotes, specifically stories that induced a considerable amount of panic and left me thinking, oh dear God, what have I done? Let's get started. I was 5 at the time we dropped a mattress on Jamie's face, and although I do remember flashes of what happened, some of the details are a bit fuzzy. My younger brother Jeffrey was only 2 at the time, and he remembers less of that day than I do. So I sat down with my mom and my dad, and of course our guest of honor, Jamie, to get a more comprehensive view of the story. Can you describe Jamie as a child?
Curious about the world around him. He was constantly playing and doing activities. He would be experimenting. He would not know the consequences of what he was doing, so he would try something out and then realize that it didn't go according to his plan. In his head, things were very different than in reality.
I asked my dad the same question, and he had a slightly different response.
Jamie was a passionate and intriguing child, prone to outbursts at any given moment. Intelligent, but unpredictable.
Intelligent but unpredictable, with a keen interest in experimentation. Exactly the ingredients needed to be a successful mad scientist. Jamie actually is a scientist now. He works in a lab in Israel where he's doing his master's degree in biology. I called him through everyone's favorite method of virtual communication, Zoom. State your name for the record.
My name is Jamie, brother of Haley.
What I want to do is understand your thought process behind this experiment.
I think that around this time I had probably learned about gravity, and I knew that things would speed up as they fell. If something fell a long distance, like off of a roof, let's say, that would really squish you for sure. However, the mattress was long and skinny. It's almost half the length of the distance from the banister to the ground. So I thought, well, it will have very little time to speed up. But I'm 4 feet tall, so intervening distance between like the bottom of the mattress and me is actually only a couple of feet, so it's barely going to fall at all. I'll just get it.
Here's a brief rundown of what happened next. The mattress Jamie wanted us to use was Jeffrey's old crib mattress. Jeffrey had graduated from crib to child-sized bed a few months earlier, but the mattress was still living in our parents' closet. I remember sneaking down the hall like the Grinch in the movie The Grinch when he doesn't want Cindy Lou Who to wake up, but in our case we didn't want our mother finding out what we were up to. We get to our parents' closet and the mattress is leaning up against the wall. It took all 3 of us to lift the mattress and drag it back down the hall, which probably should have been our first red flag that, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Now the banister in my house overlooks the front hallway, and it's roughly a 10 to 12 foot drop to the floor.
I gave very precise instructions to my accomplices, who balanced the mattress on the banister, and then I walked back down the stairs, raised my hands up to receive the mattress, and encouraged them to knock the mattress down and push. Are you sure? Yes, come on. It took less than even a second for it to fall, and suddenly I was on the ground.
So this is the point where I started to panic. Picture me, 5 years old, standing at the top of the banister, looking down. All I could see was the mattress and 2 tiny feet sticking out from under it. My mind immediately went to the scene in The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy's house lands on the Wicked Witch, and all you can see are her striped stockings and ruby slippers, and I remember thinking, oh my God, I killed him!
I remember I was downstairs. I remember hearing a huge bang. I remember running to see what was going on. probably said, "What happened?" And the next thing I remember is him looking in the bathroom mirror, just blood pouring down his face. Haley said really clearly, "I just did what Jamie asked me to do." And then I looked at Jamie and I said, "What did you ask Haley to do?" And he said, "Well, I wanted to catch the mattress." I said, "From the second floor?"
My dad wasn't home while all of this was happening, but he remembers very clearly what happened when he got home that day. So you weren't at home during the event?
I was at school on my way home.
Right, because you were doing your PhD.
I was doing my PhD, and I think I must have stayed late at the library because I got home sometime after dinner. As usual, I always anticipated some form of crisis since we moved here because every day it was something new. And I came home, opened the door, and the first thing I saw across the hall into the kitchen was Jamie sitting on a chair, quiet, which was a surprise, holding something, a big cloth up to his face, looking sheepish.
So there you have it. That's the whole story. For any kids out there listening, do not drop mattresses on your older brother. Even if they swear that they can catch it, take it from me. They can't. Why didn't you just drop a pillow?
Yeah, I should have, but it wouldn't have satisfied me. It would have reinforced for me that if I could catch a pillow, so I could catch a mattress.
Right, but you can't catch a mattress, and you didn't catch it.
Almost.
To sum up, no Jamies were seriously injured. He came out of it mostly fine. He has a fun little scar on his lip to serve as a reminder, and a debilitating lifelong fear of mattresses. No, I'm just joking about that last part.